Welcome to the AI for Interior Designers podcast, where creativity meets cutting edge technology. In each episode, we dive deep into the world of artificial intelligence and explore how it's revolutionizing the interior design industry. From AI-powered design tools to the latest trends and innovations, we've got you covered. So plug in, relax, and let's embark on this exciting journey together. Welcome to AI for Interior Designers podcast. P.S. This intro was written by and voiced by AI to sound like your host, Jenna Gaidusek.
Hey designers, welcome back for episode 56 of the AI for Interior Designers podcast. I'm your host, Jenna Gaidusek, and today I have two very fun guests. I met both of them back in May of 2024. May of 2024. I can't even believe it. At a design immersion retreat in Scottsdale, Arizona. And they were one of the sponsors there, and we've just kind of kept crossing paths at all of these industry events. So, of course, I started using their program, Daniel House Club, myself for procurement. And we have just kind of collaborated on a few different things. They were one of the sponsors for the first AI Design Tech Summit back in April. So I wanted to catch up with them now, a year and a half later after we first met, and see how they're utilizing AI in their company, but also just, general technology, and how they also provide support for interior designers with procurement. They also have great education too for their members. So I just adore them. I just really enjoy having conversations with them and also following them on social media because I love, the fun things that they get to share with us. Without further ado, I have Peter and Alexander Spalding here with me today, and I just love this conversation. So I hope that you do too, and you check out Daniel House Club because I truly do use it myself. And I think that it is such an efficient way for designers to be able to source product. And they've got a fabulous concierge team. So hope to see them at High Point Market later in October. And I hope to see you guys there too. So without further ado, here's our conversation. Welcome, Peter and Alex. How are you guys doing today?
Great. How are you?
I'm good. It's been a long time coming since we have wanted to record this. And finally, we got some summertime, but we travel frequently, I know, in our industry. So before we get into today's topic in like how you all use AI, tell us about your company, how it got started, and how you support designers with it.
Yeah. Peter, why don't you go? Because I'll have so much more to say about AI.
That's probably smart. Yeah, we've already discovered, or I knew, and I've let everybody know that I'm the weakest link in the AI department. So I can tell you our story. Alex and I started our business as a design firm in 2015, and we did that for about 5-6 years. I really, really enjoyed it. I think Alex hated every day of it. And part of that was because it was really difficult to predict profitability on a given project. We were doing really good scale houses, but we found that one of the most profitable sectors of the business could be the procurement of furniture for our clients. But it's very difficult to maintain enough minimums with enough vendors to make each project feel unique to your client. And you sort of feel like you're kind of pigeonholing them into the few vendors that you do have good relationships with. So Alex really started building Daniel House Club as a sort of back of house tool for me to go to a job site to know really, really quickly what product we had access to that felt like it aligned with what the client was after and that we knew we were going to make a good margin on. And then we just got more and more involved in design organizations like IDS, and there used to be here in Portland, the Northwest Society of Interior Designers. We met people who had been practicing for 30 years and really faced the same struggles as we did just 5 years in. And so that's when we sort of started to offer it as a membership platform to others. And we really have become the back of house for all the designers that we serve. We are more than a place to shop. We are like a logistics platform. We can help a designer avoid making that next hire to handle all of their procurement and their tracking of their product, which is no fun at all. We take that on for you. Again, I would also be really bad at that. So we have a great team that handles all of that.
The company was built to solve the things Peter's bad at very directly because he's a designer. And we realized actually most designers are bad at those things, and that's fine. You don't need to learn to be perfect at them. In fact, don't, because you're going to start being bad at the things you're good at because you're just draining yourself. So we want to partner with designers and do all the stuff you as a designer think is boring and sucks and you hate, and we'll happily do that for you. I shouldn't say
You
all the
know,
stuff,
through
but a lot of.
Yeah.
through this business, you would think that I'd gotten better at it, but no, I'm still bad at that stuff, and it's still more natural for me to go into a home and say, "This is how it's going to look," and I understand the physical realm really well, and I don't want to handle any of that other detail stuff.
Yeah. Yep, I'm the same way. And I actually use your platform, love your platform. And that's why I wanted you guys to be on here because it's the only one that I actually use.
Awesome.
So thanks for building something really cool and having really great education as well. Because I know we partnered on a few different workshops before, but just bringing education to your community and then also like building a really cool program that works really nicely and delivers what you say you're going to deliver. So thanks for doing all the cool stuff that we don't want to do and making it easy for us. But let's talk about, where AI is coming into play on the back end. And I know Peter has admittedly said that you are not a tech person. So we're going to go to Alex for a few touch points as to what are you doing on your day to day and how have you started to include AI?
I have started to include it across almost everything that I do. I almost try to work not alone anymore because I'll just like, if the moment I get stuck on something, I'm like, oh, I'll just ask ChatGPT because why bother spinning my wheels? And it's more fun. It's like having a little assistant, although sometimes it's frustrating. Like, just think better. But I use it all of the time in writing email, even like pretty casual ones. What maybe I'll write the first like 5 lines and then I'll throw it in and say, hey, can you finish this or edit this? And I found that it's gotten so much better at knowing my voice. So I don't need to edit it as much as I used to. I use it to take notes, which is awesome because then I can search all my notes and like if people are talking about different things across different meetings, it can go find that. I use it to write HTML for me for small section. I don't do most of the website work, but when I have to, I use it to kind of create marketing, help us with the marketing plans, whether that's initial ideation or final refinement. I don't use a whole lot in the middle. And then our company uses it for vendor data and image editing of our products that come in.
Very
I
cool.
think that's a fairly good overview
Yeah,
of
that's
how
a
I
lot
use it.
of points. So ChatGPT seems to be like your day to day, like your primary, right? Is that what
Yeah,
you'd say? Okay.
I've tried almost all of them,
Mm-hmm.
and I like to play around. For me, it's now become the quickest place to go. And I personally enjoy its conversational style more than Gemini, which is probably the one they use next.
Yep.
I don't know what it is. I know some people love Gemini more,
Uh-huh.
and like we're just no friends.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then going to the others, they're fine, but then I have to think about it, and I don't want to do that.
Right. Yeah. So you've been training and having conversations, and it just feels like comfortable in that it gets you and what you're trying to
Hmm.
do here in ChatGPT. Yeah.
Yeah.
I,
Have
I'm the
you
same.
done have you done the thing where you ask it to tell me about myself?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's weird how good
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
good it is.
And also, like in the beginning of the year, I was like, give me goals. Knowing what you know about me, give me goals for this year. Because I don't really set goals. I kind of am like, I want to maybe do this and then like try and work towards something like that. But I don't want to be too hard on myself. So I don't ever really set like goals. I don't know, it's weird, whatever. But ChatGPT gave me goals for this year that I didn't even know that I wanted. It was like, you should do this and you should write a book. And I was like, well, maybe I should write a book. But it was
I love it.
How's it going? Are you
knocked off half of the ones that it recommended. I haven't written a book yet, but half of the things with my programming that it was like, you should do this and run with it. I was like, I'm going to explore that and make sure that that is an actual feasible option because it is a hype girl, right? Like ChatGPT
Yeah.
is going to tell you what you want to hear. So
Yes.
I was like, is this legit and feasible? And I mean, my daily program was one of the things where it was like, you need to focus on this, and it is doing great. So I think that yeah, I'm going to keep listening to ChatGPT and set some goals every 6 months or so. It might be time again.
Awesome.
Yes.
I
Yeah. If you
haven't
haven't
tried
done
that.
that, try it. Yep. So now going back to your note taker, that is like one of my favorite things ever is just either talking into my phone and getting notes, using Plot if you're in a meeting or a phone call and it's sending it over. And then I use Loom for my either Google Hangout or Zoom, depending on where I'm posting it. And then it will give me the transcript, action items, and notes. What are you using? You said you were using an app?
Yeah, I use Granola, which I like. I did a search for simplest, I think I literally Googled simplest AI note taker, and that's what came up. And I did do a couple others. I actually weirdly did not look at any of, there are so many of them. I
Yes.
didn't look at any of the ones you just listed,
Really?
but maybe I should. No, but Granola I like because it's basically pops up when a meeting starts. It connects to your calendar. When a meeting starts, it pops up like a notepad automatically on my computer. I can type notes, and there are like some shortcuts I can add. So it works exactly like a notepad, but it also takes a whole transcript, and then it will add or supplement the notes you take. You don't have to take notes, but I kind of like that because it allows me to engage with the meeting and like if I remember something or really want to call out, hey, make sure to in your summary or action items get this thing. I like that I can do that, and I also like that no, it doesn't record, so I don't feel bad about this, but nobody knows that it's going on. Like it doesn't also join the meetings or
Okay. So
um,
that's good. So it's
something.
not recording and that you're
Yes.
getting transcript but not recorded
Yeah,
for the video portion.
correct.
Okay.
Consequently, one thing it isn't great at, like, is if I'm in a big meeting, because it didn't join, it doesn't necessarily know who said what. But if it's one-on-one, not a problem. It's actually really good at separating. And I've noticed it's actually even pretty good. If I name people at the beginning, it can usually guess who said what throughout the meeting, which I'm impressed by. Not always. I don't rely on it for that, but it can get close.
Yeah. Oh, very cool. I like that. Okay. So I'm gonna check out Granola because I really like that. You should see my desk right now for note taking while I'm doing stuff. It's I write with an expo marker all over my desk, and so I don't use notepads. I try to not use as much paper because I will lose them. But for those
Yeah,
high, like when you want to talk about something and you need to quickly jot it down, that's kind of cool that it's just on the side panel and then it
yeah,
merges.
I
I'm
Okay.
really like it.
assuming your desk is a dry erase board.
Yeah. I did paint it before with a chalk paint and then like it got really gross. So I was like, no, I need dry erase. And that's what this one.
Yeah, that's actually a really good idea. I
Yeah.
like it. I like that.
Yeah. Okay. So you're using that and then you're using it for email, of course. And then you're using it for like HTML code. So that is more of like code injections into your website. So the typical designer is probably not using HTML right now, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably not. I have recommended it to a few designers who I talk to who like are struggling on specific parts of your website. My caveat with that, if ever I'm talking to a designer, first off, I'm assuming they're not techie. Some are, most are not. And then I assume they use some website platform like a Squarespace or Wix or something. So it
Mhm.
can do a lot of that. So really just very discrete problems that I find it's pretty good at is like describe, okay, I'm using this platform. Trying to create this thing on my website, and I just need code to do like one or two things. And
Mhm.
then it's pretty good at that. I have gotten a little bit more advanced than what I've said, but it can still get hung up, and code can get really long and messy. And if you don't know how to read it, you can create some bugs
Yep.
on your own website. So don't go crazy,
Yep.
but like just little parts, it
Yep.
usually is totally fine.
Yep. I did one that was a countdown clock in my branding
Hmm.
colors, and then I was able to just embed that. So something
Yeah,
really simple.
and
Yeah.
it's pretty good. And you can get a bit more complicated over time, but even then, like our developers, we have a whole development team, and I tell them I do this, and they're fine with the way I use it, but like don't go crazy. It's like
Yeah.
it's not gonna bug check, and it doesn't know how the website operate. All the other code we've built or various other scripts that are running, a couple times it's broken things.
Yeah.
I just delete it, and it's fine.
Oh,
But
sorry. We're just
yeah,
clean that up real quick.
I didn't do that.
That's funny. Okay, and then the other part you mentioned is social media, and I'm going to link your social media because I love the interviews that you guys do with each other. So, is that something that you use for like planning? Are you using it there too?
Not so much for planning the social media. I will say, like, recently we reshot our shipping videos we have a whole FAQ section on the website that shows you how to handle specific problems before they arise. And just some of the facts there were out of date. And Alex, I don't remember what you did, but scripting that kind of thing can take a while because you got to take feedback from everybody on the team, make sure everything's accurate. And so it can be a few hours sometimes of time. And we just hadn't prepared. We didn't have time to prepare before the camera guy came this time. And Alex spent 2 minutes and we had like a 3-page script that was
Wow.
accurate.
Yeah,
Um,
I
it
think
was
I
it
just
was great.
linked our old one of our old videos had been in YouTube, and I linked it. I said, "Give me the transcript and update it, and then write me a new script with the updated information." And then it just popped it out. I was like, "This is great."
Oh my
I didn't even have to
gosh.
watch the video.
Yeah, isn't that awesome? I love the auto transcribe. So like if you're using Gemini will do it now, but I use everything just because I have to.
Mhm.
My browser is Microsoft, so I will bring up Copilot anytime I'm on a YouTube video and ask for the summary. But if it's yours, you can, ask for the transcript and then the same questions. So
Yeah,
very cool. I like how
that's
you did
cool.
that.
Interesting. I haven't tried the summary part.
Oh no?
Okay, I should try. I should try that just
It's
while on any video. I've
any
done it on
video.
our own, but yeah, I'm not.
Yep.
Okay,
I
that's
guess
great.
since we have the pro here, like, what would be the easiest way to start using it to plan social media?
So custom GPTs is how I like to do that in ChatGPT. So I plan based off of whatever service or promotion I might be working on. So, if it's for AI Day and it's around High Point Market, I will create a AI marketing bot that knows everything about that particular program, all the details for it, and then work backwards. So like, okay, now I need you to write an email sequence and then tell me when they're going to go out. Take that email sequence, tweak it, and then I say, okay, now create a 2-week social media schedule for me that uses Instagram, YouTube Short. Like these are the places that I show up. And then I want you to write a content calendar for me and give me ideas for topics, what pictures or videos I should be creating, and then give me captions, hashtags, which are not really relevant anymore. And then sometimes if it does need a script, I will even ask it to write that script for me. Now, it's all just planning mode. So if you ask for this, like there's going to be tweaking, but I specifically will build custom GPTs for like this service or this event. And then it doesn't really get bogged down in all the other things it knows about me. It knows specifically about that. So it has a better time writing out the content schedule.
Interesting.
Yeah.
We should
Okay, well, we should probably do
implement.
that.
Go ahead.
Actually, I was gonna. I think you kind of mentioned giving it a whole comprehensive picture. I think my favorite thing about AI, and there are a lot of things I enjoy, a lot of things I hate, but my favorite is that it doesn't forget stuff when you're like constantly planning. You're like, oh, that one detail over here, I forgot, and then it'll just put it back in there. I'm like, oh, that's so much easier. Then I don't need to remember it or go talk to 15 different people to have them review this thing
Right.
because all of their inputs just already saved.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. And then you can bring in transcripts and like really amplify it too. And then that'll have
Hmm.
your brand voice. So you barely have to train it on your brand voice if you just upload your transcripts to it, which is
Yeah.
nice.
One comment on that. Well, maybe Peter is going to say, I have struggled to get any of them. I've gotten a lot closer to our brand voice, but any of them to stop using a lot of flowery throwaway words or exclamation marks. They're very happy, and
Yep.
Peter and I are not that happy.
Well, and yeah, I even think when we're doing like little taglines about brands or products, we are a little bit funny and sarcastic. We like a little bit of wit, and it's always like, this is the most luxurious thing for any elegant space. And we're like, none of those words are what we want. And they just keep coming back up.
Yep. Yep. So I have a blog and it is like 150 words and phrases that AI likes to overuse. So anytime I'm training or if I'm training designers on how to train, I say, copy all of this, and then put it in the training and say, use these sparingly, these words and phrases. Like, don't keep using them. The other thing is, it sounds like yours is acting a little bit more like business professional and not as, down to earth witty. So mine is witty, and the computer AI robotic wit is not my wit. Like, they're very weird and different. So while it's trying, I'm like, yeah, you were almost there, but like that makes no sense. So I guess it's like a double-edged sword. It's getting better, but half the time I'm like, okay, pull it back, because like that was just too much. And then I find that happy medium. But it is a chat conversation. You just kind of need to be like, no, 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 no. I don't want all those M dashes. I don't need all the emojis. Take out all the exclamations and like, let's
Yeah.
revamp a little bit.
Let's-
Yep.
How specific do you get with you when you make a GPT, or do you have those like really siloed off? Like, would you just have one that's a copywriter?
I do have one that is just a copywriter. And the reason for that is because I can at and call it into other conversations, right?
Mm,
So like you can be
I
having
haven't
another
tried.
chat thread, and just like on Slack or Instagram or whatever, you at call in my copywriter. So it now has the context, but I'm calling in the backup to make it sound better.
That's helpful.
Yeah. I do also train. So I build a brand guide, and that's what my workshop was last month. So we like have AI evaluate all of our actual written stuff. Cause I like to write all my Instagram captions. I just don't like them sounding like AI. I want them to sound like me. So I write all those. I use those and then other works or transcripts. And then I create a brand guide after running it through a few different models I like to compare. And then I take that training guide and I upload it to any new GPT that I'm training. So it also has my brand voice style guide in addition to whatever instructions I'm giving it.
Okay. I need to do more of the incorporation. I have a few chat GPTs that I only use for like one thing, but I have not tried the at, hey, get in here and help me out with this thing.
Yep. Get them chatting. And then also the projects in there too. If you create a project, you can keep everything consolidated. It has the same information. It's using the same training. Same in Google Gemini, which I'm like you. I have loved ChatGPT for a long time, but Google Gemini right now, not as much on brand voice, but with deep research and coming up with stuff, really good right now. Really good right now.
Interesting. Okay. I would check that out. I
Yeah.
love doing data analysis in ChatGPT, and it's okay.
It's much better. So here's a little tip for you guys and for everybody else that may be listening to this. Deep research. Okay. So do you use the deep research feature in ChatGPT?
I do, and I'm planning to use it more. The last two times I've used it, it has like timed out on me, and I think I gave it too much information. So I might need
Okay.
to revamp what I'm doing. It was like 100,000 lines in a spreadsheet.
Okay. Yeah,
It's
that
like,
was probably.
yeah, like I roll back my expectations, but it was really good.
Okay. So deep research I've been using, and I know it might sound daunting, but it literally is just a click of a button. Okay. So when you go to your prompt box in Google Gemini, really a lot of the models, pretty much all of them now have it, but my favorites are Google Gemini, ChatGPT, and then Perplexity, which is more of a research tool. And it gives sources to everything that it says, but you can also do deep research. So when you go to create a prompt, basically all you're going to do is type in what you want to know and then add any additional information, text wise that you can include there too. Links are also something that you can include like to websites and stuff that are open and accessible. And then what you're going to do is you're going to say, add a tool or deep research, and it has like tool connections right there. So you can go to the connectors on the back end of ChatGPT, which doing this will literally like make you go do that. It'll prompt to set up something. I set mine up for Google. So I use Google Drive, Google for my inbox, Google Calendars, and then Sheets and documents, all that stuff. So in deep research, you ask your prompt and then you toggle on per search what you want it to look at inside of your files. Okay. So there's always that option to just add one file folder with the plus, like if you go to upload a picture or something.
Yeah.
Now,
That's
deep
what I did.
research
Okay.
is looking at your inbox, your calendar, your cloud storage, if you've saved things with names there, your documents that you've created. You do have to grant it permission, but this is a really great tool for like getting into your current resources and digging deeper with what you already have. So across all three of those platforms, I test them, I love them. One of the things that I have actually built inside of Google Gemini is what they call a gem, and it's basically a custom GPT. Okay, so it's just Google's version of that. I build things in there that basically, if I upload a spreadsheet and I say, check this spreadsheet of products for me and tell me what's in stock, what's not in stock, and then give me alternatives for these products right now. If I do it as a deep search and I say specifically, go to Daniel House Club, look at the lighting pages, for the results and for the replacements, that's what it's going to replace it with. It takes about 8 minutes for deep searches, depending on the search, but it has given me incredible results that I don't get without using the deep search. So something to try out.
Yeah, no, I'm very excited about that. I have some projects, quarterly goals that involve a lot of research, and I'm gonna go test that out. If anybody uses HubSpot, I haven't done this yet, but it was just announced last month, sometime in June, that there's now going to be a deep research connector in HubSpot with ChatGPT, which I'm very excited about because previously I would have to go export things because there wasn't a native connector.
Yeah.
And exporting takes forever, and you have to like specifically select like what type of content you want. And I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about that, and I plan on doing it on 2 of my quarterly goals. I hope ChatGPT just does them for me. I can
Awesome.
take a vacation.
That's the goal, right? To get more time
hmm
back. Like, we're not replacing things. We're just simply trying to find a little bit more time in our day and better analyze the data that we already have using AI. And I think you do a lot of that, it sounds like. You're analyzing a lot of data.
Yes, tons and tons and tons. And I do not have a stat degree. I've taken a few stat classes.
Mm-hmm.
But I did what I was successful in doing with ChatGPT. I'm going to go try Gemini's deep research. Was really impressive. I had to take out a lot of data because I just, we generate probably, I have a few million lines of data in our system, and I was trying to take some out, and then I took a lot out. But it was doing like PhD level statistical analysis on cohorts of customers to see what they were doing at certain points in time. And it's stuff, we could not pay somebody to do that. It would cost hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
And it did it in a few minutes.
This is crazy. And how fast it's moving, too.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
This whole time, because this has gone well above my understanding, I was just thinking of, I think the first time we used AI or ChatGPT in marketing at all was when we sponsored an event and we had a branded drink. And I don't remember what the drink actually was, but they told us to call it the Daniel House Club Whiskey Whirl. And then we attended the event and they weren't calling it that. And I think we were both like, we thought it was kind of cute.
Yeah.
And
They did not like it.
they did not like it. So
Man, I like it. Well, just at your home bar, I guess. You'll have
the
it on.
Whiskey Whirl.
Yep. Okay, so one other point that I wanted to talk about on your site, you were talking about how you've started to like integrate AI with the catalogs and stuff from your vendors. So how's that working high level?
Yeah, high level. There's a new company that's building a tool for this, and we actually got really lucky that somebody on our advisory board is friends with the founder, and so we were like one of their not even beta testers, but they basically just have a ton of meetings with us asking what we need because we have a lot of data and connector needs, and we're complicated. And they've built tools to solve almost all of them. A couple examples, vendors will send us data in all sorts of formats, from really well-refined spreadsheets with detailed information out that specifically tell you what the information is. That's great. And this tool can ingest that, but so can a human. It's not that hard to do. But they'll also send us PDFs that have the image at the top and the price buried somewhere in the bottom and the specifications in the middle. And this tool can start to grab that out and build a spreadsheet with that information. And if you've tried doing that in ChatGPT or Gemini, it's usually pretty bad at that. It can get kind of close. I always get excited of like transforming it into a spreadsheet, and then I go in. I do it every single time. I'm like, oh, this is garbage. I cannot use this information. But they've like really trained it to do it pretty well. And it's not without a human, like it then hands off the information to our team and we can go in and edit it. But it really streamlines that. They've also built my favorite one, takes the most time, but it's awesome. We can just give a link, and we have to train each website what we want and where it is, but then the AI will go in and say, okay, I can grab all of this information from the website directly. Don't even need to talk to somebody, which is awesome because most furniture companies do not know how to provide you data. And I'm like, you have it on your website. I'm like, oh, somebody else did that. Okay, well, I'm just going to go take it then. And this makes it really easy. So we use that mostly. We're still, it's pretty new, so it's not going to do the whole website. That's the dream. One day it will just automatically take everything. We use it a lot on our product request tool. So if a designer goes and tells us, hey, you're missing a product, then we just have somebody type in the link and it sucks in all the information. And that's something that used to take like 45 minutes for a person to do. It now can take like 5 because they find it and then they just review it and post it live.
So it's like a little clipper tool that just automates that entire process for your database.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's been a while since we've looked at this or that I've heard about this, but used to be that was like 40% of our revenue was generated by those product requests. So that's enormous if you're cutting that into 1/9 of the time.
I think it's still our biggest team actually of people is on catalog. And we're not like some people get nervous. We're not cutting any of those jobs. That, as you said before, there's just so much to do. There's so much to do and they're constantly behind and not their own fault. Like we actually massively accelerated their ability and through a lot of process updates. And there's still so much to do that this supplements this and allows us to go do like quality control or something else that we're already lacking in and we need to improve that so we can get better here, take some time off, reallocate those people to other areas, which they enjoy doing more too, because it is not fun to go copy and paste data into a spreadsheet.
And we used to be known for great customer service because we would get those product requests back in a day or two. Well, that's still what we advertise, but more and more I'm hearing from members, it's like, oh, I just got this like 10 minutes after I asked. And so that's a huge change.
So used to be known for great customer service and
We're
still
still
are.
known,
Yeah, I was going to say, wait a minute. I feel like it just improved.
Just to clarify,
we used to be known for great customer service that took 1 to 2 days, and now we're known for great customer service that takes 10 minutes.
Perfect. I love that.
But I want to be clear that we're not advertising that you will get your product request in 10 minutes.
still varies, but we
Yeah.
try.
Because there's still a human behind it. So they're checking it for accuracy, which should be done, right?
Yes.
Yep. And then you mentioned also pictures too. So they're pulling some pictures.
Yeah, we use it pretty lightly for photos, but one thing, and you will still find this on our website. So good challenge. Go on the site, see how many photos are in different formats. And by
Well,
format, I mean like literally different shapes or random different colored backgrounds. Vendors, oftentimes they're consistent among themselves, but they're never consistent with each other. But like, is it going to be a 5x7, a 16x9, a 1x1? And so we use this tool to say all photos need to have the product centered in a square with a white background and I think we have like a 15% gradient drop shadow. And it can do that. And it's not just going and cropping it. It will say, here's the main content. I know that, so I'll put that in the middle. Then I will make everything else white, turn it into a square with a drop shadow.
We would tell it that, and then we would import all the chandeliers, for instance.
Okay. So you're still getting the
Yeah.
other pictures too. And then that also, and the reason being is because you create a design board in your program, right? So you can
Yeah, you can do it for all sorts of things. So it'll look more consistent on
Mhm.
when you add it to your board. It'll also look more consistent when we use it in marketing. It allows us, I'll be honest, there's some things we just don't really market because the images are so weird and it takes too much time to human edit. And so
Or like-
we can showcase more products.
A lot of vendors will have kind of a beautiful backdrop on all of their images, but that doesn't look consistent across the site. So we want your shopping experience to look consistent, so we're taking that out.
Mhm.
And then once you go on the product page, you'll still see lifestyle images, but it doesn't look like a mess on the collection pages.
Yeah.
I love that.
And we are in the process of doing this across the catalog. That'll take a while, but we do I should maybe check on this. I believe we do it on every new product being added so far, but it hasn't been retroactively applied.
Okay, so that's a good way to just see what's new too. If it's got an updated picture. Yep.
Yeah.
So with this being like kind of connecting, and you probably have done this always, and I just don't know about it, but is this pulling real-time inventory at the same time? So like what the stock is, or?
Not yet. That
Okay.
is a dream we have, and we're working towards that. We have it set up on a few vendors to go check at a regular cadence. Not gonna, somebody on our team will listen to me and say that's wrong, so I shouldn't say. But for example, we can set it up to say, go to Forehand's website every week and tell me what the inventory level is for the products. That is a feature we have. I think we only have it set up on about 4 vendors. It's awesome. It takes a couple hours to run that, and that is still fairly cumbersome right now. But my dream is we'll be able to say, go to every single website and bring me the stock right now. It sounds like that's maybe like a year away.
I'm going to tell you something after we hang up the call later.
Okay, awesome.
I've been talking to this other company, and I don't know that they are on your platform yet, so I'm not going to mention who it is, but they have introduced me recently to something that is maybe able to do that. But the other cool feature about theirs, and maybe you're already working on this too, is almost like the search bar for images, like a Google Lens, but searches their products to see what looks similar to it. And that's also built into this same program. So just an added like search bar that is going through only your images to find something similar. So
that would be very cool.
Yeah, like that's the future of sourcing, I think, for designers, because especially with what you all are doing, being trade vendors, we've had this open for a very long time, which is Google Lens, but that stuff is junk that you're getting, right? Like you're just getting crap from Amazon and Wayfair. We need that, but for all of the trade vendors, so.
Yeah. No, I'm looking forward to hearing.
Yeah. Well, thank you all, like, honestly, for what you do. I love seeing you at trade shows. Are you going to be at High Point?
We will be.
Yeah. Are you going to be there?
Yeah, I'm going to host an AI day at FESI on Friday. So it's all day.
Nice. Okay.
Yep, we'll learn AI stuff. What are you guys doing? Anything planned?
Yeah, we are. We're going to be partnered with Rue Magazine for that lounge area in the Universal space. So we'll be over there. We're going to be doing a couple of things again with Dovetail. We hosted some talks there last spring, and they were just a wonderful host. We'll be there with Rick Campos and I think Design Manager, who is another sponsor of Rick's podcast. So
yeah, awesome.
Yeah, some fun stuff.
Did you guys in the spring have that like was that your area, the little bars thing?
Yeah.
That was so cool. Did you design it, or did somebody else design it?
No, we partnered with Stacy Cohen, who is a member and has been a great advocate of ours and has brought a lot of good clients our way. And so she and her team designed that, and we were just the key sponsor. And I will say, I think we went above and beyond. We got a lot of our vendors to get involved and provide product, and we were up late stuffing bags to give away. And so yeah, it was very hands-on and a lot of fun. But this time we will be indoors. We did have to, Stacy tented that at the very last minute because it was supposed to be kind of inclement weather, and it was beautiful actually. And I'm glad it was tented because it was actually almost too sunny to be standing out there all day.
Yeah. And you never know in the fall what you're going to get. So smart to be inside. All right. Well, I will definitely be seeing you guys there. I'm going to pop by and figure out where you're going to be, and I'll come say hi. But thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate it.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks
Great
for
to see you.
having us.
You too.
Thanks for listening to today's episode of the AI for Interior Designers podcast. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and tune in next week for more AI tips for your design business. See you next time.